Welsh is a Celtic language native to Wales. Even though Wales was annexed by England over 700 years ago, today the Welsh language not only has survived, but remains the second most widely spoken language in the UK. The language boasts upwards of 900,000 speakers, roughly 30% of the Welsh population, and is the only Celtic language not considered endangered, despite Wales being the first territory outside England to fall under English rule. This sparks the question, how has the Welsh language survived? Welsh is the oldest language in the United Kingdom, preceding Roman presence on the island and tracing its origin to the language of the Britons, the original Celtic inhabitants of Great Britain from over 2,000 years ago. Welsh is one of 6 living Celtic languages, the others being Irish, Breton, Scottish Gaelic, Cornish, and Manx. These Celtic languages declined as English in the British Isles and French in Brittany were imposed during centuries of rule in these territories. Irish and Scottish Gaelic went from being the majority languages in Ireland and Scotland to being relegated to remote areas of these countries. Breton, without official support from the French government, continues to decline and is spoken mostly by elderly Bretons. Cornish and Manx even became extinct. Perhaps the last native Cornish speaker, Dolly Pentreath, died as early as 1777. The last Manx speaker, Ned Madrell, died in 1974. However, thanks to revival efforts, these 2 languages now boast hundreds of speakers, but remain critically endangered. Welsh too saw a decline in the last centuries. Beginning in 1536 with the Laws of Wales Act passed by Henry VIII, the Welsh language was discriminated against in the government and legal system. Perhaps most damagingly, the Elementary Education Act of 1870 made English the sole language of education in England and Wales, eradicating Welsh from the school system. By 1911, Welsh had become a minority language in Wales for the first time. In spite of efforts to suppress it, today, Welsh is the only Celtic language that is not considered endangered. In fact, the Welsh language continues to thrive in rural areas, and is even experiencing growth in the terms of numbers of speakers. The perseverance of the Welsh language stands in stark contrast to the marked decline of the other Celtic languages. The fact that Wales was conquered so early on by the English ironically may have guaranteed the survival of Welsh. Wales was annexed by England in 1284, and was largely subdued thereafter, with the exception of a rebellion in the early 15th century. Since Wales was not as troublesome as Ireland or Scotland, Anglicization efforts were much weaker in Wales. In 1588, the Bible was translated into Welsh by William Morgan, which ensured the continued relevance of Welsh in spiritual life. Famine and emigration in Ireland and the Scottish Highlands during the 19th century hastened the decline of Irish and Scottish Gaelic, while Welsh was largely unaffected. Today, Welsh holds official status in Wales, alongside English. Support for the Welsh language grew during the 20th century. The Welsh Language Act of 1967 allowed Welsh to be used in the courts. In 1969, the future King Charles III famously gave his investiture address as Prince of Wales in Welsh. Welsh language Radio Cymru launched in 1977, and a Welsh TV channel, S4C, launched in 1982. There are many Welsh language newspapers and magazines, and a growing interest in Welsh language music. Welsh is used in daily communication in many parts of Wales, parts of England, and even in Argentina's Chubut province. Welsh is a compulsory subject in school from ages 5 to 16 in Wales, and there are hundreds of schools where Welsh is the language of instruction. The Welsh Assembly has set a goal of reaching 1 million Welsh speakers by 2050, and so far much progress has been made. In 2022, The annual population survey estimated that 900,600 people speak Welsh, up from 874,700 in 2018 and 726,600 in 2008. The perseverance of the Welsh language distinguishes it from the other Celtic languages. Wales's isolation from and compliance with rulers in London ensured that Anglicization did not emerge to the same extent as in other Celtic-speaking regions. The growth of Welsh nationalism in the 20th century placed importance on the continued survival of the Welsh language, and efforts from the Welsh government and the Welsh people to secure the future for their language means that Welsh will likely continue to survive and thrive. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to support more videos like this. See you in the next video.